The sound of power tools at 7 in the morning should have been my first warning. But when you're 63, paralyzed from the waist down, and dependent on others for basic needs, you learn to ignore a lot of things just to keep the peace. I wheeled myself to the front window of what used to be my house, now my son's house, as my daughter-in-law Brittany reminded me gaily, and watched in growing horror as two men in work uniforms began dismantling my wheelchair ramp. "You don't need it anymore," Brittany called out to them, gesturing with her manicured nails as she supervised the destruction of my only means of independent access to the outside world. "Just get it down quickly. The new buyers are picking it up at noon." New buyers, she'd sold my ramp. I fumbled for my phone, my hands shaking as I tried to call my son Derek. Straight to voicemail. He was on another business trip, his third this month, leaving me alone with Brittany, who'd made it increasingly clear that my presence in what had been my home for 35 years was an inconvenience she could barely tolerate. "Brittany," I called through the window, rapping on the glass. She looked up, saw me, and actually smiled. Not a kind smile. The smile of someone who knew exactly what they were doing. She walked closer to the window, not bothering to come inside. "Oh good, you're awake, Dorothy. I've scheduled Sunny Acres to pick you up tomorrow. It's a lovely facility. Very accommodating for people in your condition." "My condition," I said through the glass, my voice muffled but my anger clear. "You mean paralyzed? From the car accident that killed my husband? That condition?" She shrugged. "Derek agrees it's time. You'll be happier there." "Derek doesn't even know you're doing this." "He will when he gets back. By then, you'll already be settled. He'll see it's for the best." I watched, trapped in my own home, as the workers efficiently removed each section of the ramp that had been my lifeline for the past 5 years. The ramp my husband Harold had insisted on installing to the highest specifications, knowing that one day we'd need it. He'd been right, though he never lived to see me use it. The ramp was expensive, commercial grade, with perfect slopes, dual handrails, and a non-slip surface that worked even in winter. Brittany had complained about it being an eyesore since she'd married Derek 2 years ago, but I never thought she'd actually remove it. "Ma'am?" One of the workers had approached the window, looking uncomfortable. "Are you sure about this? This is a pretty serious accessibility ramp. Looks like someone needs it." "She's going to a nursing home tomorrow," Brittany said loudly, ensuring I could hear. "Ramps included. Just keep working." I wheeled myself to the front door, unlocking it and pushing it open. "Stop. This is my house. You can't remove that ramp." The workers hesitated, looking between Brittany and me. "Actually," Brittany said, pulling out her phone and showing them something, "it's my house. My name is on the deed as of 6 months ago when my husband inherited it. And I want that ramp gone." It was true. After Harold died, I put Derek on the deed for estate planning purposes, never imagining he'd add his wife's name without telling me. I'd found out only when the property tax bill arrived with both their names on it. "Please," I begged the workers. "I'm trapped without that ramp. I can't get my chair down those steps." The younger worker looked stricken. "Lady, maybe we should." "You'll get paid either way," Brittany interrupted, pulling out cash. "Here's an extra $200 each to get it done quickly. I have somewhere to be." Money talks. They went back to work, though the younger one kept glancing at me apologetically. That's when the white government sedan pulled up. The man who stepped out was everything Brittany wasn't expecting. Marcus Thompson, according to his badge, Americans with Disabilities Act Compliance Inspector. He was tall, official-looking, and his expression as he surveyed the scene. Workers dismantling a ramp, me visible through the doorway in my wheelchair, Brittany holding cash, went from professional to stern in seconds. "Stop work immediately," he commanded, his voice carrying the kind of authority that made everyone freeze. "I'm here for a routine ADA compliance inspection, but it appears I've arrived at an interesting time." Brittany tried to recover, plastering on her fake smile. "Oh, this is just maintenance. We're upgrading." "Ma'am, I can see the ramp sections in that truck. That's not maintenance, that's removal." He pulled out his tablet, already documenting. "This residence is listed as the primary dwelling of Dorothy Patterson, age 63, mobility impaired. Is that correct?" "How do you know that?" Brittany sputtered. "Because Mrs. Patterson's late husband filed all the proper paperwork when the ramp was installed. It's part of the county ADA compliance database. We do routine checks to ensure accessibility features remain functional and up to code. He looked at the partially dismantled ramp. This ramp was not only functional but exceeded requirements. Why is it being removed? She's going to a nursing home, Brittany said quickly. She doesn't need it anymore. Marcus walked up to where I sat in the doorway, introducing himself formally. Mrs. Patterson, are you moving to a nursing home voluntarily? Absolutely not, I said firmly. This is my home. My daughter-in-law sold my ramp without my knowledge or consent and apparently plans to have me removed tomorrow against my will. He made more notes. Mrs. Patterson, are you mentally competent? Completely. I managed an accounting firm for 20 years before my accident. I handle all my own finances, medical decisions, and daily care with the help of a part-time aide. I'm paralyzed, not incompetent. She's lying, Brittany interjected. She's confused. Elderly people often. I'm going to stop you right there, Marcus interrupted. Age and disability do not equal incompetence. Mrs. Patterson, do you have documentation of your mental competency? My doctor can provide that immediately, I said. I had a full evaluation 3 months ago for insurance purposes. Perfect cognitive scores. Marcus turned back to Brittany and his expression was cold. Are you aware that removing accessibility features from a residence where a disabled person lives is a federal crime under the ADA? Brittany's face went white. But it's my house. Ownership doesn't override federal disability law. If a disabled person legally resides here, you cannot remove their means of access. Furthermore, attempting to force a mentally competent disabled person into a care facility against their will constitutes elder abuse and false imprisonment. He turned to the workers. Gentlemen, you'll need to reassemble that ramp immediately. Every piece exactly as it was. But she paid us. The older worker started. Whatever she paid you is now evidence. Reassemble the ramp, or you'll be named as co-defendants in federal ADA violations. They scrambled to unload the truck. Brittany pulled out her phone. I'm calling my husband. Please do, Marcus said. In fact, I insist on it. Put him on speaker. She hesitated, then dialed. Derek answered on the third ring. Britt? I'm about to board. Derek, she said in her victim voice. There's some inspector here harassing me about your mother's ramp. What about Mom's ramp? Derek's voice sharpened. Marcus took the phone. Mr. Patterson. This is Marcus Thompson, ADA Compliance Inspector. I've arrived to find your wife directing workers to remove your mother's wheelchair ramp, apparently planning to place her in a nursing facility against her will. What? Derek's shout was loud enough for everyone to hear. Brittany, what the hell are you doing? You said you were tired of taking care of her, Brittany protested. I said I was tired after a long day. I never said to remove her ramp. I never said to put her in a home. Mom, are you there? Are you okay? I'm here, son, I called out. I'm fine, just trapped in a house without my ramp. I'm getting on the next flight home. Brittany, do not touch anything else. Mom, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. Mr. Patterson, Marcus interrupted, you should know that these actions constitute multiple federal violations. The fines start at $75,000 for first offenses and can reach $150,000 for willful violations. Additionally, your wife could face criminal charges for elder abuse. Oh my God, Derek breathed. Mom, I swear I didn't know. Brittany told me you were thinking about assisted living yourself. That's a lie, Derek, I said quietly. I never said that. I want to stay in my home. Marcus continued documenting while the workers reassembled the ramp. Mrs. Patterson, you'll need to file a formal complaint. I also recommend contacting Adult Protective Services and possibly a lawyer specializing in elder law. This is ridiculous. Brittany exploded. She's just a burden. She can't walk. Someone has to do everything for her. Derek works constantly to pay for her care. Actually, I said, finding my voice, my insurance covers my part-time aide. My Social Security and Harold's pension cover my expenses, and the house is paid off. Has been for 10 years. So what exactly is Derek paying for? Brittany's mouth opened and closed like a fish. Marcus raised an eyebrow. Interesting. Mrs. Patterson, has money been taken from your accounts? I haven't checked lately. Brittany usually gets my mail. We'll be looking into that as well, Marcus said ominously. The younger worker approached. Sir, we've got the main section back in place, but some bolts were damaged during removal. It's not safe to use yet. Marcus turned to Brittany. You'll need to have this professionally repaired immediately. I'm issuing an emergency order. If this ramp isn't fully functional within 24 hours, you'll face immediate fines and possible arrest. Arrest? She shrieked. Unlawful imprisonment of a disabled person, ma'am. Mrs. Patterson is currently trapped in her home. That's a felony. Derek's voice came through the phone again. I'm at the airport. I'll be home in 4 hours. Brittany, pack your things. We're done. Derek, you can't. You tried to imprison my mother. You lied to me. We're done. Brittany grabbed her purse and fled to her car, but Marcus called after her. Mom, you can't leave. You're responsible for ensuring this ramp is repaired today. Make Derek do it. She screamed and peeled out of the driveway. Marcus sighed and made more notes. Mrs. Patterson, I'm calling emergency services to ensure you have safe access immediately. They'll install a temporary ramp within the hour. I'm also contacting APS and the police regarding your daughter-in-law's actions. As we waited, Mrs. Henderson from next door came over. Dorothy, I saw everything. I've been recording on my phone since they started this morning. I knew something wasn't right. More neighbors appeared, all expressing outrage and support. Mr. Kim from across the street was a contractor and immediately offered to repair the ramp properly. No charge, Dorothy. You helped my mother with her taxes for years when she couldn't afford an accountant. Within an hour, the temporary ramp was installed. Within 2 hours, Mr. Kim had a crew fixing the permanent one. Adult Protective Services arrived and took my statement. The police took Brittany's license plate information. Derek arrived as they were finishing the repairs, looking haggard and furious. He hugged me tightly from his knees, crying, Mom, I'm so sorry. I had no idea she was capable of this. When she said you were considering assisted living, I thought it was your choice. I should have talked to you directly. She's been intercepting my mail, I told him gently, controlling the narrative. It's not your fault, son. Marcus returned with final documentation. Mr. Patterson, your wife is facing fines of $150,000 for willful ADA violations, plus criminal charges for attempted elder abuse and false imprisonment. Your mother will need to file a restraining order immediately. What about the house? Derek asked. Brittany's name is on the deed. That'll be handled in divorce court, Marcus said. But given the circumstances, attempted elder abuse, federal violations, I doubt you'll get much sympathy from a judge. That evening, with my ramp fully repaired and reinforced, I sat on my porch for the first time in months. Brittany had been served with papers at her hotel. She'd also been fired from her job once her employer saw the news coverage. Mrs. Henderson's video had gone viral with the title Evil Daughter-in-Law Tries to Trap Disabled Mother-in-Law. Derek sat beside me, exhausted but relieved. Mom, we're taking Brittany's name off the deed immediately. Actually, I'm putting the house entirely back in your name. It should have stayed that way. We'll do whatever makes sense legally, I said. But Derek, how did you not see who she really was? He sighed. She was different when we dated. Sweet, caring. The minute we got married and she found out about the house, the life insurance, your savings, she changed. Or maybe she just stopped pretending. The inspector said she might have been stealing from me. We'll find out everything. I've already called a forensic accountant. A week later, the investigation revealed Brittany had redirected $47,000 from my accounts over 6 months. She'd been planning to put me in the cheapest facility she could find and use my money for herself. She was arrested on multiple charges. The ADA fines alone would destroy her financially. The criminal charges meant prison time. Derek's divorce was uncontested. She had no leverage left. But the best part? The younger worker who looked so guilty? He became a whistleblower, revealing that Brittany had done this to 3 other elderly residents, buying their ramps cheap and reselling them. All 3 cases were reopened. 6 months later, I still live in my home. Derek lives here too now, in the mother-in-law suite we built years ago. We've hired a full-time aide who's wonderful. My ramp isn't just repaired. It's been featured in an ADA compliance textbook as an example of excellence in accessibility design. Brittany is serving 3 to 5 years in federal prison. The judge called her actions heinous exploitation of the vulnerable for personal gain. Derek met someone new at a disability advocacy event, a woman whose brother uses a wheelchair. She understands that my independence isn't negotiable. And Marcus Thompson, he still does his inspections, but now he also gives seminars on recognizing elder abuse. He uses my case as an example, always ending with, "A ramp isn't just metal and wood. It's freedom, dignity, and independence. Anyone who takes that away is stealing more than property. They're stealing someone's life." Every morning, I roll down my reinforced, perfectly graded ramp to get my newspaper. Each smooth roll is a reminder that I won. That dignity won. That the system, when it works, protects people like me from people like Brittany. The ramp Harold insisted on installing didn't just give me access to the world. In the end, it saved me from those who would have trapped me. And that's why I had it painted bright yellow after the repairs, so everyone can see it, bold and unapologetic, a declaration that I'm here, I'm staying, and no one will ever trap me in my own home again.